Oh boy, Splitgate 2 really messed up again, and I'm so happy. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and that intro, I swear, is how every single one of you Splitgate glazers think I act when they do something stupid or bad or whatever. But it's really not. It's more like, fuck, they screwed up again. Why can't they just make things better so it's a decent game that I enjoy playing? And up until this point, despite how I may feel about their tactics with the store and all their other bullshit that happened, and despite the personality of their CEO and me not liking it, I was all for wishing this game nothing but the best and hoping they were able to turn things around. But now I'm just at a point where I actively prey on this game's downfall, and let me explain why. Overall, they just continuously repeat the same mistakes, whether it be from a previous update or from the previous game. But let me break it down. Friday was the day Splitgate was supposed to get this massive update that everyone had been waiting for. It was going to introduce ranked, mastery skins, both of which should have been in the game at launch. Hell, even X-Defiant launched with some kind of mastery camos. They weren't fantastic by any means, but they were there. And I'll get to the quality of this game's mastery skins in a moment. But right as they go to release the patch, they shit the bed again. Because the same thing happened on Memorial Day weekend when they put out an update or beta or whatever it was, and nothing was working and it wasn't fixed until late in the weekend, and they just drove away a lot of players. So this started looking like the exact same thing all over again. But somehow, they managed to get it fixed in about 12 hours. But to keep having these issues seemed to be just a preparation thing. Even though they posted on their Twitter about it trying to pin it on consoles, their first tweet said, "We have submitted the Chapter 2 build, but things seem to be taking longer than expected on certain platforms. We have also added the ability to rejoin games in progress, specifically for ranked. We will update you when we have more to share on expected downtime. We're hoping to have the update out later tonight or tomorrow at the latest. We appreciate your patience." Which, later tonight or tomorrow at the latest, I didn't really believe either one of them, but hey, they got it out later that same night. But before they got that update out, they followed it up with this post. "We're still awaiting feedback from the platforms on our submission. Delays at this point owed to technical issues with 2 of the platforms, not anything related to our build. We appreciate your patience and are sorry about that. We're excited for you to see what's new, and we'll post again as soon as we have an update." First of all, there wasn't really anything new that they didn't already tell us was coming anyway. It was just mastery camos and ranked. But I just don't understand this. How do you blame this on certain consoles when you knew you were supposed to have this update ready and published by now? Most other developers have a window where they publish an update, but it just doesn't go live yet. And they do it beforehand because things like this can happen. The only way that this happens is if you half-baked it and rushed it, which very much seems like they did because we got 3 mastery camos and ranked as a fucking joke, and just submitted it at the last minute. But here's your reminder that somehow, some way, the Battle Pass update was able to slide through, and so were all the store updates. Imagine that. But anyway, 3 mastery camos, and they aren't even the most eye-catching, but they're good for what they are, I guess. There's Carbon, Gold, and Proelium, and you unlock them in that order. Not really sure who over there said Carbon was worse than Gold in terms of aesthetics, but sure. The Carbon and Proelium, in my opinion, do look nice, but are these really the extent of the mastery camos? When push comes to shove, the ones X-Defiant added later were way better than this. But now let's talk about the ranked system. The new ranked mode has 7, you could argue 8 ranks, starting at bronze, then working your way up to silver, gold, platinum, diamond, Proelium, and then champion, and then I guess you have your top 100, which are a separate rank called ace. Pretty standard rank system, nothing really crazy. And it would even be more standard if you could see those ranks somewhere in the game. Most games I've played at least say, hey, this is what you're playing for, these are all the ranks. Whereas this one's just like, hey, you're currently in bronze, do something about it. And if you weren't checking their Twitter posts, you'd have no idea what rank comes next. Intuitively, bronze goes to silver, silver goes to gold, gold goes to platinum, sometimes platinum goes to diamond, and then diamond goes to what? Every game does it a little bit differently, and this game goes to Proelium because that's just their trademark thing that they keep trying to force down everyone's throat. But like, I just want to see the rank system laid out. That's all. I don't think that's too much to ask for. And I also don't think it's too much to ask for a fucking leaderboard. Stop relying on tracker.gg to track everybody's stats for you, even though they keep saying, oh, it's tracking, it's tracking. Don't worry, you just can't see it, but trust us, it's tracking. And even tracker.gg's website with their stats that they do track are not even all that great anyway. And if you're a Twitter fiend, you could probably go back and see this for yourself, but I think Splitgate or tracker.gg exchanged tweets or whatever and said something along the lines of better update your system or update your tracking or whatever they said, and ranked is out and we're not tracking ranked stats on tracker.gg either. So yeah, you can't see the rank system laid out for you. You can't see anything other than what rank you currently are. You can't see what rank comes next, and there's no leaderboard unless I missed this somewhere in the game. Someone let me know and I'll retract that statement, but don't worry because I'm about to pile on even more. The ranked matchmaking clearly doesn't care what fucking rank you are because a bronze can play against a platinum, and with only 24 hours in, just about at the time of recording this, you might be asking, well damn, people are already in platinum rank? What a bunch of sweats. And normally I'd say, yeah, what sweats? But it doesn't really help that if you back out of the match before you lose, you don't even lose any ranked points. On the flip side to that, in some instances, just like there's tracking issues with the challenges that they've consistently had, has now leaked over to your rank, because sometimes when you win, you don't even get the points you were supposed to get. And I'm just so sick of hearing the same copy and paste bullshit excuse. Don't worry, it's tracking, it's just a little delayed. You know what else is just a little fucking delayed? These developers' brains, just a tad bit delayed in the frontal cortex maybe. And oh yeah, players are grinding all this for what? Some weapon charms? That's it. They don't even give you any other rewards. So huge update that could have potentially brought players back on a holiday weekend where people are free to play the game, and you botch the release yet again. And then when you do get it live, it looks like it was cooked up in a 5-year-old's fucking easy bake oven. And players are supposed to be okay with this? I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll say it many times over. This game is following step for step what XDefiant did, but somehow worse. And the player count hasn't moved an inch on Steam. And I'd have to imagine it didn't move at all on console either. The whopping 3,000 players on Steam each day, and the imaginary 50,000 players on console that the delusional fanboys think actually exist, but have zero proof to show for this, as the game continues to slide down spots on the most played games in both the Xbox and PlayStation stores. And for all those about to comment, well, Fragpunk isn't doing any better. Yeah, you're right. But we're not talking about Fragpunk, are we? We're talking about Splitgate. So stop acting like a game that I actually play, doing bad on player count as well, means anything at all when it comes to this game. This game is fucking doomed. Accept it. And then here was the icing on the cake for me. I've watched a grand total, a whopping 1 streamer play this game. That was Jay Bowen. Now, Splitgate put this up on their Twitter stating they brought back these sub drops for Twitch and gave a link to the full list of streamers you can earn this drop from. Well, just out of curiosity to see if I was still on this list because I was on the first one, I went through the list. And of course, I'm not on there, which is to be expected. I've done a lot of shit talking on them. I didn't really expect to be on there. In fact, I'd probably flame them even more if I was still on there. But at the time of recording this video, not a single one of these people is live streaming Splitgate right now. Only 3 were live, and 2 of them were playing Mecha Break, and the other was playing Counter-Strike. A majority of the rest of them haven't streamed in over 3 days. But you know who I see streaming Splitgate almost every single day that isn't on this list anymore? Jay Bowen. Y'all really got some great streamers that you're backing with this game. And it's not really a knock on the streamers because the game's not good. I wouldn't want to play it either. It's just actually a damn shame to see this happen. So many games do this. XDefiant did the same thing, and Fragpunk does to an extent as well. They pick these high viewer streamers who play the game while they're getting paid to play it, and the second the money dries up, those streamers move back to their comfort game, never to touch this game again. And I even tried to play the game today, and I'm just done bitching about FPS at this point and not being able to get 240 or whatever. Like, I don't even care at that point. As long as I can play the game at a stable FPS that's not going to drop massive frames and I can see where I'm running, I'm fine at this point. And I've just reconciled that whatever the optimization issues are just aren't going to get fixed. And people like me who are just random one-off situations who just seem to have crazy issues with this game on PC, we're not being listened to, and that's fine. The thing I can't stand, the thing I won't stand, is when I'm in a match and I want to open, say, Spotify and change the song I'm listening to, just can't do it because my whole PC lags so bad. I click the Spotify icon on my other monitor and it takes 7 to 10 seconds to pull up Spotify. And then if I want to search for a song, it takes another 30 to 60 seconds to be able to type in and the words to appear in the search bar, find the song, and then click play on said song. It is fucking pitiful. And honestly, the people behind this game should be ashamed because there's no way I'm the only person experiencing these issues. And we may be a minority. There may only be a handful of people here and there who have issues like this, but the issues exist. And at this point, you need all the players you can get. And one last thing to all the fanboys trying to come up with a way to defend all of this, you should be ashamed too. Maybe you should let them know that these issues are happening. Let them know the issues that exist in the game instead of just glazing everything. Let them know that some of these issues are driving away a chunk of players unlike yourselves who don't have a 6-inch Proelium strap on up their ass, and force them to fix the shit that's broken before it's too late. That is, if it isn't too late already. So say what you want in the comments. I've had enough with this game. And honestly, at this point, like I said, I hope it gets shut down. Hope it gets shut down next week. So I probably won't catch you in the next one because there may not even be a next Splitgate video because I'm just fucking over it.